In this video, I'm going to demonstrate Ignition support for CESMII's i3X API. Inductive Automation's initial implementation of the API is using Ignition's WebDev module, which is a module that allows you to directly program against the web server inside the Ignition gateway, effectively adding REST endpoints to your server. In the future, we'll have this be a native feature of the REST API that's built into Ignition. But for now, you can find and download the i3X endpoints from our Ignition Exchange. Just simply go to ignitionexchange.com and search for i3X. Here you can download the project and you can import that project into your Ignition server. Once you have it imported, you'll see the WebDev endpoints, but that's it. No more configuration. You can simply point a third-party client like the i3X Explorer to your Ignition gateway, and you'll be able to see all the UDTs and data that comes from Ignition. And that's the beauty of the i3X API. It allows us to expose the full power of Ignition's tag database to any third-party client. We can show the hierarchy of our tags, all the UDT definitions, all the instances, all the tags, the metadata, the current values, history, alarms, everything can be exposed. Now, right now, I only have one UDT configured. That's called motor. Has two tags, amps and HOA. They both have history. The HOA has an alarm configured on it. I've got 8 instances of that motor, motor 1 to motor 8. As you can see, the data is coming through, and I want to be able to see all of this in a third-party client like the i3X Explorer. So let's go over to the i3X Explorer. And all we got to do is simply point it to our Ignition server. So we go up here to the URL, provide it. For me, it's on my local machine, localhost :8088 /system/webdev/i3x. That's how we get to that project we imported, all of those endpoints that we brought in. And that's it. Go ahead and save. I'll connect. And now I can see all the namespaces. So here's the Ignition UDTs. There's my motor UDT. I can see the full schema of that and all the instances of that motor. We can also go down here to our hierarchy where I can see that they're part of my default tag provider. There's my motors folder, and then there's my motor 1. With that, I can see the data over here. Here's my amps and HOA. If I refresh that, we'll see the data is changing, coming in. I can also see that underneath motor 1, I've got the fault alarm. That's the alarm that's configured. I can see the full details of that alarm. Right now, this one's cleared. If I go look at motor 4, for example, I can see that that motor or that alarm is active. And so with that, we can not only see the live data, we can refresh it, but we can also see the history. So if I come down here and load history, I can get the history of those 2 tags coming in. And we can also subscribe to this data. So let's say that I want to see the data changing on a continuous basis. I can go up here and subscribe. Let's go ahead and start polling. And you can see the data coming in. And of course, data is changing as we go. So really, really powerful to get at all that data that's inside of Ignition. All the live data, the historical data, the alarms, the full hierarchy, all of that's there. Now, if we go one step further, I'm going to go ahead and delete the subscription. If we go one step further, let's go bring a CESMII's smart manufacturing profile into Ignition, like a CNC profile, instantiate it, and see that come through the i3X Explorer. So let's go back to our browser. I'm going to go to another project we have on the Ignition Exchange called the CESMII SM Profile Converter. That allows me to browse all of the profiles that are in the cloud library, and I can import them in to Ignition as UDTs. I'm going to go ahead and import the CNC base profile. What this is doing is downloading that node set and parsing it and basically converting that to UDTs in Ignition. That makes it really easy, so I don't have to do that by hand. And what we have to do, of course, is specify how many instances or these arrays, how many of values of these arrays we want. I'm going to go ahead and just save these as 1. However, for my axes, I'm actually going to specify 3 of them, and it's going to be axis _x, y, and z. Go ahead and save that. We'll do that a couple more times here. And now I can import those UDTs in Ignition. So if I go back to my designer, I will see under my UDT definitions, I've got a whole slew of UDTs that have come in from the SM profile. So there's my CNC base type, and that's the type that I want to start with. So with that, I'm going to go over here to my tags outside the motors folder. I'm going to instantiate the CNC base profile. So we're going to go to our data type instances, profiles, CNC base type. I'm going to call this CNC1. I'm going to specify the parameters. So it's going to be my Ignition OPC UA server, and the UA prefix here in the PLC is CNC PLC and CNC1. And so that's it. Go ahead and press OK. I now instantiated this new UDT. If I expand it, I will see the data that is coming in and ready to be exposed in that third-party client. Now, what's cool about these profiles is that we're showing the full inheritance of UDTs as well as composition of UDTs, and all of that comes through in the Explorer. So let's go back here. Let's disconnect and reconnect so that we can refresh the namespaces. There I've got not only the Ignition UDT namespace, but I've also got the profile CNC, all the stuff that's there for that smart manufacturing profile, that namespace. If I go to hierarchy, go back to my default, there's my CNC, and I can see all the the objects that are inside of it. So let's go down to Axis X, and there's the data for that. There's my motor inside of Axis X. All the data is coming through. And again, we can see history. If there's any alarms configured, all of that comes through. This is a very exciting API, and we're really excited to have this be out there for people to start taking advantage of now that the i3X API is at version 1. So please download and enjoy, and let us know if you have any questions.